Hey, what's up, y'all? This is MadMave. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another review. Today we're going to be reviewing the new Marvel movie from Sony Pictures, Morbius. Morbius is directed by Daniel Espinosa and it's starring Jared Leto as the living vampire Morbius. So when this movie starts, you feel like there's something there when it comes to the movie and when you're watching it. But Morbius is a type of movie that sets up interesting characters, mysteries, and lore, but never delivers or build upon those things. And by the time the credits start rolling, I can't lie, I was pretty disappointed. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen a movie that just had so much to offer within it, as far as when it comes to the concepts and things like that. And with it being essentially, Marvel's first, vampire type of movie. And I get the distinction from, Marvel Disney, from Marvel Sony. I get the difference, but clearly there's obviously some things there of, when it comes to momentum of, this movie should have been at the very least decent. And I'm not gonna say that it's a bad movie, but I would say that it's just a very hollow movie. It has a lot of things going for it that's real interesting, but again, those things are just not built upon on it. And going to another thing is when it comes to the character, the main character, Jared Leto, that plays Morbius. He has a friend that's close to him and everything like that, and I felt like the relationship in the beginning and a lot of the things from the beginning was essentially working for me, but it was a lot of the second to third act that was just not making sense or felt just out of the norm from, especially when it comes to certain characters, because Jared Leto, when it comes to Morbius and his friend, I really liked the way Matt Smith played everything in the beginning, but far as when it comes to the end, I feel like there is some choices when it comes to either him or when it comes to the script that just did not work or just felt, out of nowhere. And another thing about this movie, I mean, they had other side characters too that I felt were interesting. I'm trying not to skip over, but they did have a love interest. The love interest was fine. She was interesting, but again, when it comes to the setup and how they end it and how they kind of leave it, and I don't know, it just felt weird of how they did it. When it comes to Tyrese's character, and I forgot the other guy's name, but they play cops in the movie, and I think they did a good job for what they were supposed to do, but they really didn't do too much of anything, to be honest. I don't want to spoil it, but walking in, saying a couple things, and then leaving a couple things that might be interesting to the plot, and then not having anything to have, to deal with just the story of the film later, kind of, I don't know, it was like, why? Like why? Like, even when it comes to Tyrese's character, which was promoted with his metal arm and everything, never touched upon. Like, we really don't get too much of that. And to me, I'm sorry, that's not a spoiler. Again, I I try to keep it non-spoilery. I'm gonna try to keep it non-spoilery when it comes to this one. Also, the movie itself is really predictable when it comes to it. As you're watching it and then you're getting to like that second act, I think, at least, I don't know about you, but I definitely started feeling like, that usual movie that you watch and what's gonna kind of happen and where it's gonna go, which this should not feel like that. It should not feel like a mediocre movie that like I can pick out like that, but definitely felt like that. And to be honest, it was a very mediocre, hollow type of movie with a lot of good concepts that, again, I'm gonna say again, that they just did not execute and deliver upon. And on just coming off of that, the predictability, of course it's going to be like a fight at the end. It's going to be in for certain reasons when it comes to those characters that I kind of went through. And when we have the last fight, I'll say some of the other fights were pretty good and well choreographed. The choreography for the fights and everything I liked. Like I said, and I'm about to say my positives, that like I love like the effects and how they're doing it. But the last fight felt like basically just visual noise, and it's just, and if you don't know what that means, it's just a lot of things going on, but you're really not understanding, you know, what's going on as far as the choreography, and that kind of sucks when it comes to a movie. I mean, that's what makes you know, fighting from like the raid and stuff like that real interesting, because you kind of can see things a little bit more like straight in the frame. But anyways, it's not even so much the visual noise, because it felt so blatant that they were trying to kind of hide stuff with this big CGI thing of, you know, debris going everywhere and little shots of execution of things that they can do to each other and everything like that. But then it's just the whole like this slow motion thing of close-ups of them like snarling at each other, and it just didn't work for me. And especially at the end when like everything just stops, like it is just basically, you know, that the movie's over. It's like that anticlimactic type of feel, like, okay, that's it, like, okay, we're gonna take a couple more minutes, finish up or whatever like that. But to be honest, I'm not gonna try to go into anything more when it comes to my negatives. I think there's a good amount of things. I mean, ultimately, I just was not satisfied with this movie. I'm not gonna talk about when it comes to this certain spot that felt like a Batman Begins type of scene. I don't want to say ripoff, but it is what it is. And then they hit the tone with this, with the score of Batman Begins. Let me know in the comments below if you know what I'm talking about. But that, I'm not gonna talk too much about the ADR type of issue and everything like that. That at least it was an ADR type of thing that I heard that probably could have been a little bit better, or it just kind of came out of nowhere. But anyways, I just don't know how this happens. And matter of fact, to end off, I'm sorry, like I thought I was gonna finish, but the post-credit scenes, which you probably heard about, if you haven't heard about it, like, wow, like to me, this is the worst post-credit scenes that I've seen. I mean, far as just where they put it, you know, what they're doing, I mean, it's just not good. I mean, my girl was asking me like, do you know what's going on, babe? I had no idea. I was looking around the theater and looking at other people. I think people felt just as dumbfounded as we were. So it's one of those post-credit scenes that if you've heard about the post-credit scenes not really making sense, or just like I'll use the words weird, bad, like what's the reason for it, you know, what the continuity does not make sense. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like the continuity definitely does not make sense. And how did you get that actor to even do that scene, to be honest? Because I don't know. So for my positives for this movie, despite all the negatives that I went through, I would have to say that some of the positives is that despite it being a, like, obviously something's wrong with this type of movie, the way that it was edited, the way that the script and everything, something I really want to know when it comes to what happened. Like, but far as the positives, I think that Jared Leto himself actually did a good job with the role. I mean, it really wasn't that much for him to do, and I kind of even questioned them even picking him for the role. Like, I can kind of understand where just the look and especially the roles that he takes and everything, but dang, like, I mean, I feel like that Jared Leto, Tyrese, like, I don't understand, like, even when it comes to those characters, like, why, especially at least the cop characters themselves, not even just the actors, but like why were why were they even needed? So, but anyways, yeah, Jared Leto was good. The effects were fairly good. I like that. Like, I really like the power and how they showed it. Like his powers, his sonar and all that stuff, the effects itself. And I mean, I do, again, I like the love, I do like the love interest, and I like the dynamic of Matt Smith with Jared Leto, the chemistry between them. It's especially for at least the first act. The first couple minutes, just getting into it, it was interesting, but it was like going down this, you know, mystery hole that, you know, is supposed to be like fun and goodness, and it's basically just super plain and hollow, and you just come out the other end. But anyways, that's my review for today for Morbius the Living Vampire. I will give it a 4 out of 10 when it comes to Morbius. Good luck with that. Please let me know if you felt the same way I did. Comment down below, and please let me know if you enjoyed it, because there might be some people that actually enjoy it. My girl came with me to see Morbius and she liked it, so maybe there's a couple people out there that enjoyed it a little bit more than me and maybe didn't assess, you know what I mean, assess the whole movie as much as I did. I tried not to. I tried to have fun. I tried to. I mean, I wanted to. So, but if you like this video, press the like button. If you want to get more notifications of when I do these videos, hit that subscribe button and you'll get that. But for now, y'all have a good day. MadMave is out.